Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. Is He's still on about the fucking gun, dude. Plaintiff Tyler James Robinson. The state of Utah, by and through the Utah County Attorney's Office, charges the defendant with the commission of the following offenses. The state of Utah, by and through the Utah County, count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code, in that on September 10th, 2025, in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty, or pursuant to Utah Code 76, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole, an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years, and that may be for life. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of the Utah Code. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. If the trier of the fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim an aggravating factor. Violent offenses committed in the presence of a child, aggravating factor. The sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider as an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent criminal offense in the presence of a child. Count 2. Felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury. A first-degree felony in violation of Utah Code, in that on September 10th, 2025, obviously. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code. Intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child. Count 3, obstruction of justice. The defendant, Tyler James Robinson, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offense, concealed or removed the firearm used to shoot Charlie Kirk, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony or first-degree felony. Count 4, obstruction of justice, second-degree felony. Count 5, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code, in that on or about September 10th, 2025, in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that an official proceeding or investigation was pending or about to be instituted, intended to prevent an official proceeding or investigation, and attempted to induce other witnesses, otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony, information, a document, or an item. To wit, directing his roommate to delete incriminating text messages. Okay, that's a little. All right. Tampering, like they're gonna try to get literally everything they can in the beginning. The judge will likely throw out half of this shit, but like they make sense. I'm just criticizing it. Okay, chill. Tampering with the witness, third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code, and then is September 11th, defendant proceeding, investigation, attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony or information, to it directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned the roommate. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child. Victim targeting enhancement. Probable cause statement. Brian Davis of the Utah State Bureau Investigations have probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the above listed offenses. Submitted the following evidence in support of the filing in this information. On September 10th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 p.m., Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a large crowd on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Counts 1 and 2. Police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action 30. What do you say? 30 caliber 30. How do you say this? Oh, you did type it out. Okay. 30-06. Okay, thank you. 30-.
Zed King tipped $5. I find it odd how much the right is fixating on Tyler having a trans partner versus his actual motivations, since the entire time the partner has been nothing but compliant with authorities and there has been no evidence of cooperation or conspiracy.
Yeah, they were all dying for this to be a trans person who shot him. But, like, to be fair, the left was dying for this to be a white Christian conservative. So, you know, both sides wanted this to fit their narratives. As I said, and I put out, like, videos on TikTok about this days ago saying, like, all you guys who are pushing and dying, like, just trying so hard to stretch this to be a fucking groiper right now, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do this. There can be some people on our side once in a while who do horrible shit. It's okay. Like, we still know that they commit by far the majority of these types of acts. So it's not a fight that you need to fight. This is fucking embarrassing. But the shooting. Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at UVU. The event was the first in a series of similar events to be held at college campuses nationwide. Mr. Kirk is a well-known conservative activist famous for these types of events where he discusses various political issues and debates with audience members. His events and comments have garnered a significant number of supporters and drawn the ire of many who disagree with his political views. Again, I've said this a number of times, but this isn't something that I've heard many people mention. This was his biggest event. This was by far his biggest event. Like, I've never, ever, ever seen even like a quarter of that many people at one of his events. This was by far his biggest event. This was huge for him. This was a fucking massive event. The other ones are normally maybe at most like 100 people just standing around his tent in like normally like in like a crowded area where other people are walking and trying to get through and shit like that. Whereas this time, I feel like we've seen bigger. I'm talking about for his like change my mind sort of things. He's done other events, TPUSA events, where they were inside, where he would give speeches with like Candace Owens and shit like that. That, yes, he would fill up fucking like auditoriums for that shit. But for the change my mind stuff, no, it was at most like 100 people, most of the time like 30 to 50 people. And so this one, I think they said there was over 2,000 people there. The event at was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with the crowd before the event officially got underway. Then approximately at noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd and fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used at his events. Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but people all over Twitter, conservatives all over Twitter, are clipping the parts of his what do you call it, of his South Park episodes. The South Park recently did some parodies of him, and a lot of conservatives are clipping his South Park episodes and saying, this is what got him killed. Look at what they did to him. They made everybody hate him. The South Park episode got him killed. And they're like, how dare you make fun of him like this, blah, blah, blah. And all of these had like community notes under them saying, like, actually, Charlie Kirk loved it. He said it was hilarious. He appreciated the way that they portrayed him. Like, this is bullshit to act like this is what got him killed. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on his right and left, as well as some behind his canopy and others at various close locations near him. Yeah, and they were telling the shooter when to shoot. Have you guys seen that? They told him when to shoot. One of them had a hat on, and he wiggled his hat and then went. And the other one went. Pop. Immediately. Yep, that's it. Nobody ever adjusts their hats. I made up that percentage, but it seems right. Okay, I don't think that he was even at half of them. I was about to say that I don't believe that that's true, but the large crowd surrounded Mr. Kirk on three sides. Temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a matter of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, an indoor walkway spanning several hundred feet with floor-to-ceiling glass windows which overlook the plaza where Mr. Kirk was seated. People were in the walkway at the time of the shooting. Approximately 15 minutes into the event, Mr. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings by transgender individuals when a gunshot rang out. The bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet's trajectory passed closely to several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, including the questioner, who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. Children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. So I do find it kind of mind-blowing, the fact that nobody behind him got hit. Like, that is kind of fucking crazy. I'm assuming it hit his, like, actual spinal cord because of the way that he just, like, immediately was gone. Like, he was gone immediately. Like, I got a bunch of text messages saying, like, I was asleep. And so I get a bunch of text messages saying, holy shit, Charlie Kirk was just shot. And then an hour later, the same people who messaged me said, oh shit, he died. And so I wake up to, like, these text messages, and some of them had video of the close-up shooting. And so I'm waking up and I'm going through all of these text messages, looking at all of the messages that everybody sent me. And as soon as I saw the close-up video, I sat there thinking, how the fuck did anybody think he was still alive? How the fuck did they see this and think he was still alive? Am I fucking crazy? Am I nuts? What the fuck is going on here? There's no fucking shot. Well, no pun intended. But when you see like that, he's dead. Like, he's gone. And then over the next, like, day, I saw numerous other people. I saw clips from numerous other people coming out as well who were like, oh shit, Charlie Kirk got hit. Oh, he got shot. Wow, that's crazy. And then, like, it says like 15, 20 minutes later, they're like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's fucking dead. I don't know why people were saying he's at the hospital. He's not at the fucking hospital. That motherfucker's in hell, like, or heaven or whatever. Like, he's not. That dude's gone. Like, he is totally fucking gone. Like, I see this over and over and over and over, where the same thing, where at first they're like, oh, he got shot? Fucking sucks to suck. And then, like, a little while later, they're like, oh, shit. Oh, he's fucking dead, dude. Yeah, he's oh, no. Yeah, no, he's fucking dead. Like, that was my reaction. But I'm seeing this all after I already know he's dead. But then I see the video and I'm thinking, who the fuck watched this video and was like, yeah, he's at the hospital right now. Like, he's in critical condition. Did you see Destiny's reaction? No. If you wanna send it to me, I saw Hassan's reaction, which is exactly what I was just describing. I saw Hutch's reaction, which is exactly what I just described. I saw I forget the other one, but yes, he's super dead. Like, yeah, that I might have seen Destiny's reaction, I don't remember, but yeah, like almost everybody that I saw, they would show a clip of them first saying like, oh, he's in the hospital? Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know. Then like 10-15 minutes later, they see the video and they're like, oh yeah, no, he's not. Nah, he is not in critical condition, guys. That is not happening. And so yeah, I think even Destiny talked about this, where he's like, I didn't expect that, like, you see the blood squirt out, which already seems like very over the top, like cartoonish in the way that it squirts out, but then he's just gone. Like, and you see he's gone, like, immediately. There's no like, he grabs his neck, he doesn't look and like turn and follow, nothing. He's just gone. And he's like, I don't know what could have happened there. But that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it had to have hit like his like spinal cord or something, and that's why it didn't hit anybody behind him. And that's just how it works when you hit an artery and spine. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was saying, is that I felt like it had to have hit like an artery, obviously, with the squirt, and then the spine would be what would just cut him off. So Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital when he was declared deceased. The medical examiner's report is pending. The UVU surveillance investigation. At the moment of the shot, a UVU police officer, the UVU officer, was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats, believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound. He looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooter's position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof only slightly below. The UVU officer climbed over the railing and down to the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. It kind of reminds me of the Trump shooting, because right before the Trump shooting, you see like people with their phones recording going, there's somebody on the roof over there. He's got a gun. Hey, tell the police he's got a gun, guys. Tell the cops there's a guy on the roof with a gun. Tell them, get him. Like, in this one, you just see people who are going, is that a guy on the roof? Oh yeah, there he goes. Yeah, he's running over there. Yeah, he's got a gun. Yeah, they must have security here. Crazy. Yeah, they got snipers up there. Like, it's fucking wild, dude. You just see the guy like running from one side to the other on top of the roof. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop consistent with a sniper having lain on the roof. Impressions of the gravel potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of a person in a prone shooting position. Police reviewed surveillance of the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing across ever since this went off, my screen is fucking flashing now. It was perfectly fine earlier. I was able to read, no problem. Now my screen's flashing and it's driving me fucking crazy. Dressed in dark clothing, railing from public view, walkway drop onto the roof approximately 12:15 p.m. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view, for a short time the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then low crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. This discovery led to an intense review of UVU surveillance recordings to attempt to track and identify the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following. At approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered campus from the north. He is seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in its center, a dark baseball cap, and large sunglasses. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railing off the open walkway and onto the roof, where he leaves the camera's view. The camera later captures the suspect as he runs across the roof to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the roof. He appears to drop the item he was carrying as he hits the ground in a controlled fall. He then picks up the item and runs toward the northeast end of campus. Expanded crime scene investigation. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path to the northeast end of the campus, where they believe the suspect left campus and entered the wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. Okay, so when he was saying, I don't think they found the rifle yet, they haven't said they found the rifle yet, that seemed to be on purpose because they were hoping for him to come back for it. And so they were probably heavily monitoring that area, just waiting for him to come back for the fucking gun. That makes it make a lot of sense in his DMs to his roommate, where he's telling them that he wants to go back for it. The rifle contained 1 spent round and 3 unspent rounds. This is consistent with the facts officers observed at the time of and immediately after the shooting. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt action rather than an auto-loading weapon, and only a single round was fired. Each round of the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows: "No Tice's bulge, oh whoa, that's this, or what's this? Hey fascist, catch, arrow symbols. Oh Bella Ciao, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO." The rifle, ammunition rounds, and the towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casings, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. Law enforcement was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos of the shooter from the UVU surveillance camera and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try to identify the shooter through the other means. The Washington County investigation. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went into the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend family friend to turn himself in. Robinson's mother stated the following to police. On September 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was at home sick and that he had also been homesick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspected shooter looked like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. Damn. Well, it's nice that they didn't just call the cops on him. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained, "There is too much evil and the guy Charlie Kirk spreads too much hate." They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak to a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The family friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. That was not going to stop them from searching the home. It's just trying to make it to where it's easy. He's just trying to help police get the evidence. That was not going to stop them from searching the fucking parents' home. That makes absolutely no difference. They were going to search it one way or the other. The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting and provided those messages to police. On September 10th, 2022, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you are doing. Look under the keyboard. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I am stuck in Orem for a little bit while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Why? Roommate said, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. So yeah, so this is what I was talking about, where he says that he hadn't seen anything about them finding it. It sounds like they found it almost immediately, but they just didn't tell the media. They didn't tell anybody that they found it because they were hoping that he would go back to get it. And so they were probably just heavily watching that area. How long have you been planning this? Robinson. A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it. But it's so funny because the roommate is like, what the fuck, dude? You did this? What is wrong with you? Why did you do this? How the fuck did you... Like, and he's like, yeah, I really wish I could get that gun, dude. I'm really upset about the gun. Like, well, why the fuck would you just kill somebody? It was a nice gun. I don't want to lose that gun. Hoping there's nobody there. Maybe I can sneak over there and get it. It's like, you're a fucking murderer? You murdered somebody? How long have you been planning this? So yeah, it's my grandpa's gun, dude. My dad's probably gonna miss it. I should maybe wait a little longer before I go get that gun. What do you think? How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring it back. If I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't even know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace back to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, that all he cares about is the gun. He's just worried about getting the gun back. Like, his roommate is just blown away that he is the fucking murderer that they're looking at on television, that everybody all over social media is talking about. All of their family, all of their friends, every major media organization, the fucking president, everybody everywhere is talking about this guy. And now they just found out it's their fucking roommate, and they're just like totally blown away, and he's just sitting there the whole time just like, yeah, I really don't want to lose that gun. It's so ridiculous. Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. Okay, this is so odd. Remember how I was engraving bullets? Yeah, you remember that one day I was just sitting around just randomly engraving bullets? Yeah, I know. Wasn't suspicious at all, but actually, I was planning on using those bullets for something. Nobody ever would have known. You had no idea, right? I just engraved bullets and nobody asked any questions. It wasn't suspicious at all. I just totally played you guys. It's so ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. Just, yeah, remember? I was engraving bullets that one day. Nobody ever suspected a thing, but yeah, I was actually planning on using those bullets. The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge uwu on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm gonna have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. This guy's a fucking sociopath, dude. He's a fucking sociopath. It's just... What? No screenshots? Again, guys, this is a fucking... This is an indictment, okay? They don't normally print screenshots on an indictment. They have to type everything out. It is But yes, he wrote notices bulge ooh woo on one of the. He actually wrote oh whoa, OWO, and everybody's made a really big deal about the fact that it doesn't say ooh woo, it says oh whoa. These are very different, and like that, he right here he says ooh woo, so I apparently it's not very different, or he wrote ooh woo and they just like he didn't etch it very well, so it just looks like oh whoa, or autocorrect just changed it from oh whoa to ooh woo. I don't know. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. Is He's still on about the fucking gun, dude. He's still going on about the gun. This is so ridiculous. This is like a meme, bro. I feel like all of these text messages are just part of him just fucking with everybody. It's just part of him just fucking with everybody. It's fucking ridiculous. It's the gun, the grandpa's gun. You know, it's pretty good. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but it's a pretty good shot. Did you see that? Oh, man. Uwu depicts a cute face with closed eyes and a happy, scrunched up mouth, conveying warmth, affection, and happiness, while Owo appears open eyes and represents surprise, curiosity, or an intensified look of desire and playfulness. Okay, so yeah, so it seems like it was probably meant to be Owo, not Uwu. But yeah, so he says, remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge uwu on Fox News, I might just have a stroke. Alright, I'm gonna have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. Bro, dude. This is just fucking insane. If he said that, that's wild. These are his fucking text messages. This is the fucking indictment. Is this real? Yes, this is the indictment. Yes. We're reading the indictment. Yes. That's why I'm cracking up this whole time, is because his roommate over and over and over is like really freaked out about the fact that the whole world is currently looking for him, and he just texts her and says, yeah, that's me. And so she's like, what the fuck, like, what are you doing, blah blah blah. And I'm sus of Cash and Company now. This isn't even from Cash. This isn't from the Department of Justice. This isn't from the FBI. This is the county report, and we went over the FBI's investigation first. Now we're into the county's investigation. So, judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. And then it's another. I think this is a I think this is another type of like emote, right? An emoticon that represents a crying or sad face. Yeah, so it's 2 semicolons with a dash in between. All right. Then he says, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Okay, yeah, the delete this exchange makes it to where, yeah, he is trying to hide evidence. Okay. Police executed a search warrant on Robinson's residence. During that search, police discovered a shell casing with etchings like the etching found on the shells in the rifle near UVU. Police also found several targets with bullet holes in Robinson's home. Count 1, aggravated murder, pertains to Robinson's shooting and killing of Charlie Kirk in the manner that exposed others, in addition to Mr. Kirk, to a great risk of death. Count 2, felony discharge of firearm, pertains to Robinson's shooting towards Mr. Kirk, knowing that doing so would endanger those in Bullett's path. The shot caused serious bodily injury to Mr. Kirk, ultimately resulting in his death. Obstructing justice pertains to Robinson's removal and hiding of the rifle he used to shoot Mr. Kirk. Count 4, obstructing justice, pertains to Mr. Robinson's removal and hiding of the clothing he wore when he shot Mr. Kirk. Count 5, witness tampering, pertains to Robinson's statement to his roommate, telling his roommate to delete their text exchange that followed the shooting. Count 6, witness tampering, pertains to Mr. Robinson's statement to his roommate, telling the roommate, if any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. I don't know if that's necessarily witness tampering. I don't know if that's necessarily witness tampering. That's kind of insane. That's a wild. Like, again, they're going to like throw everything at the wall and try to see what sticks. That one seems a little too far-fetched. Violence offense committed in the presence of a child pertains to Robinson's shooting of Mr. Kirk in the presence of children under the age of 14 who were visible at the event. Based upon evidence received from Brian Davis of the Utah State Bureau of Investigations, I have reason to believe the defendant committed the offenses as charged herein. So yes, this is not Kash Patel. This is not the FBI. This is not Donald Trump. This is not the Fed. This is not any of those people. This is Utah Bureau of Investigations. So very different.